Because the techniques used to create the background shown in this video are new to many professional photographers, we've decided to add this technical postscript to more fully explain the process. All of the backgrounds shown in this video were created with a process known as front projection, which is also known as special effects backgrounds. The process was first developed for Hollywood movie making and, in fact, earned an Academy Award. Front projection continues to be frequently used in films. The technique was first introduced to professional still photographers in the 70s and gradually gained in popularity as photographers recognized that complementary backgrounds can significantly improve customer satisfaction and profits. Today, enterprising photographers around the world make regular use of the front projection process, with many using it for nearly 100% of their work. Backgrounds are becoming recognized as an important component of a photograph. And creating a variety of backgrounds is much easier to do with projection compared with taking subjects on location. The special effects process is not at all difficult to understand. There are two major components to a background projection system: the electronic flash projector that is mounted to the studio camera, and a very special screen that is about 1,500 times more reflective than an ordinary white screen. The photographer merely inserts a background slide into the projector and positions the subject in front of the screen. The slide can be of anything and can come from a stock collection, or it can be an image that the photographer himself created. Recent improvements in the process that include a special scrim called the black screen make it possible for the photographer to use virtually any normal lighting arrangement without adversely affecting the background. It is no longer necessary to use special lighting when using projected backgrounds. The old restrictions are gone. We can show you very simply exactly how the process works. The subject is placed about 3 to 4 feet in front of the special background screen. The camera is usually about 6 to 10 feet from the subject. When the camera is triggered, both the studio lights and the projector flash at precisely the same time. Light from the projector's electronic flash passes through the slide, through the zoom projection lens, and strikes a beam splitter and is directed at the screen. The light then strikes the special screen and is reflected directly back at the camera. The background image passes through the beam splitter and into the camera's lens and is recorded on film. The reason the background does not show on the subject is because the background screen is 1,500 times more reflective than the subject. Thus, the background image striking the subject is reflected too weakly to be recorded on the film, while the background image itself is more than strong enough to be recorded. It is important that the camera lens and the projector lens be in exact alignment to avoid a shadow around the edge of the subject. In this videotape, you may have seen at times a dark shadow around the subject. This shadow is, however, a function of the video process and would not show if one were making a normal still photograph. With special effect background projection, the photographer has total control over the background, control that just isn't possible in the regular environment. For example, the photographer can select any background he happens to have on a slide. He can manipulate the position of the background. By moving the magnetic slide carrier, he can put exactly what he wants in the background behind the subject. For instance, if a tree is protruding from a subject's head, he can instantly move the tree, which isn't too easy to do in real-life environments. The photographer can vary the proportional size of the background with the projection zoom lens. He can make the background bigger or smaller, thus making the background more realistic. A smaller background can make a small subject look bigger, and a bigger background can make a huge subject look smaller. The photographer can vary the intensity of the background by varying either the power output of the projector or the f-stop on the projector lens. Backgrounds can range from very bright to near black. In fact, if the photographer wants a pure black background, he merely covers up the projection lens. If he wants a pure white background, he removes the slide and projects white light. If he wants a blue background, he inserts a blue gel and gets a far more vivid blue than would be possible with ordinary blue paper background material. The colored backgrounds can be complemented by using the designer disc light modifiers. The photographer can vary the focus of the background, ranging from very sharp to very soft, merely by varying the focus on the projection lens. If he wants an extremely out-of-focus background, he can put the lens on macro, or he can change the position of the slide in relation to the projection lens. The photographer can even vary the color balance of the background without affecting the color balance of the foreground. He simply inserts an appropriate filter in the light path of the background image. The possibilities are endless. The biggest problem related to the special effects background process is the photographer's creative ability to choose appropriate backgrounds and to pose the subject properly. It opens the door to an entirely new style of photography, getting the photographer away from the routine use of the typical old masters backgrounds, which incidentally can be projected, just like any other background. With a special effects background system, a photographer can provide each client with a variety of different looks. Increased variety translates into increased customer enthusiasm and increased profits. The projection system shown in the video is known as the Scene Machine. It was provided by its manufacturer, Environmental Projection Systems of San Marcos, Texas. EPS has been a world leader in developing the background projection process. Background projection is being recognized today as one of the most innovative new products a studio can use to enhance their product line.